Hello everybody, and I hope this video finds you well. This is a continuation of a series on optimism, and I'm not going to keep summarizing previous videos. You got to look back in the feed, look for anything labeled optimism. Eventually maybe I'll get some sequential numbers so you can figure this out. But I want to talk a little bit about some coaching skills, some stuff that I see really specific to coaching as it relates to optimism. And this will maybe get into a little bit more situations you might find yourself in terms of coaching. I referenced in an earlier video some conversation about what kind of self-talk you have as a coach when your team is doing well. And it's actually really important to capture some of this. And what I mean by that is, what do you tell yourself when things are going well, when you have swimmers that are doing well? Are you able to capture some of that positivity and essentially reinforce it with yourself? I think that's a very important skill, and one that you can start to cultivate without talking to any other people. The second sort of skill related to that I think you can use to build on that is, I may not have come up with these terms, but basically reverse venting. That is, having other people to share when things are going well. We all need other people to be able to talk to when times are really tough, and to complain to, and to just, like, as we say, vent. However, I think we are less likely, and we need to put some conscious effort into calling other people when, and communicating with them when things are going well. Okay, so that you can capture that. And if you set these relationships up purposefully, even if you announce sort of what you're doing, you're more likely to help the person on the other end as well. So it's a really important piece, and really all you're doing there is sharing the good news. Things are going well. Let me tell you about how they're going well, and maybe they'll have something to share with you too, and you leave that conversation with, I think, quite a bit more optimism than you came into it to. One of the things that's at play in both of these that I just want to address is this difference between humility and modesty. And I always tell people, be humble, okay? It's a great characteristic. It's a thing that I admire in other people. But I do advise them not to be modest, and I'll explain the difference to you. Humility, in my mind, is not exaggerating at all your capabilities or your accomplishments, right? And I think we can all admire that in other people. We like people who aren't, we have a natural, like, we don't like braggadocious people, although some of us do. But in general, cross-culturally, there is somewhat of a desire to steer away from people who are exaggerating how good they are. Modesty, however, in my definition, and I'll give it to you, is sort of a form of dishonesty, and that is, instead of not exaggerating, you're actually underestimate your capabilities and your achievements. And I'll tell you one of the ways that can be really toxic. So, and I'll use an athletic explanation. Like many coaches, I'm a former athlete. I used to go around, and when I would talk about my former athletic career, I would say, well, it wasn't very good. Right? That was the statement that I used to describe my own career. Now, I'll give you a more objective sort of statement. I swam in college, was a Division III swimmer. I was one of the best handful of swimmers on a middle-of-the-road Division III team in one of the most competitive Division III sports conferences in the country. Okay, so the reason that can be really toxic is, for anybody who is below that achievement level, right, what are they supposed to think about their swimming when I say, I'm not really good? I'm better than 99% of people at swimming. Okay, that's another way of looking at it. So I think it's really important to start cultivating some of these skills yourself as a coach. Tomorrow I'll get into even more coaching situations and applications of this. I hope you're enjoying this series, and I'll talk to you soon.